All right, now that we have our schema validated, we have the topic created, we now can build the code to start producing events to that topic. Okay? To do that, we're going to use the library named Faker that allows us to create random and fake test data for our purpose, so we can define this the schema that we run reproduce and generate data into that schema. Okay? Now we're going to use Avro, we're going to use our wrappers, we're going to use everything. So first thing I'm going to do, let's do our imports. So import system, we need time, we need random, we need the paths, we need date time, we need our dictionary type, we need a UUID generation, and we need to import the faker class from the faker package. We need to import the serializations, string serializer, serialization context, and a message field. And also the Avro serializer. Okay, import's done. Let's go ahead and get our path. So same thing here, I'm gonna copy that. Define our path. Now we're gonna import our producer wrapper, our Kafka producer class. Also our schema registry admin to interact with it, and the YAML. Okay, we need the exact same load configuration function. Actually, I could have put this in a utils file. You can do it, but for now, just copy and paste it. Same load configuration and also the same login information. So let me put this. The login information, let me name this event generator. All right, our basic setup is here. Now, again, we're going to instantiate a faker object. Okay. This library is very cool. It allows us to create like very realistic patterns and allow us to do a bunch of testing scenarios. So it's very good for a demo and for us to, try to replicate a structure that we'll find in production. So let's go ahead and initialize it. Faker. Okay. And with that, let's create a class for our event generator. Purchase event generator. Okay, so we want this class to encapsulate all of the business logic for generating those events. Okay, so let's create our constructor. And we have a dictionary of config. Okay, our config will be the config. Our regions are going to be from our YAML file, all of the keys from the config regions. So if we come back here, we have our regions. The keys are US, EU, Asia. So you can just modify this and the code will pick it up in case you add another region. The products are going to be our product. Okay, it's going to be this. You can add more products as well. So let's log this. event generator initialize with, I don't know, let's print out the regions. So 3 regions. And let's say the available products are maybe we print all of them. No, I think it'll be, let's just do number of available products. Let's do the length. Cool. Now, this is good for our constructor. So we start with that. Let's create the generate a purchase event. We need the region to which you're going to push it. And return a dictionary. Okay. So we want to generate a dictionary that's going to match our Avro schema exactly. Okay, so you'll see how each field will correspond to the schema definition. So we need the event ID, the user ID, the region, the product, quantity, amount, currency, and timestamp, everything, okay? So a lot of things we're creating manually that will be different from production scenarios, like user ID would come from authentication, not something generated like this. Amount will be calculated based on the price and then the quantity. Timestamp will be when the transaction actually occurred. So also additional fields might be required. But for now, let's just do just for illustration purpose. So let's get a random choice of products between our lists. That's what we're doing for the random. We'll say that our minimum and our maximum user IDs will get the user ID range. That I have defined there. The minimum amount and the maximum amount will be their amount range. So we do have, if we come back here, this setup here. So we're getting this min and max value for the user ID and the amount. All right. Now let's go ahead and build our event. So the event, a single instance of it, we're generating the user ID. This is going to be like our unique identifier. So let's do UID4 for it. We'll have, sorry, this is the event ID. We have the user ID. Let's grab a random integer between our range. Okay. The region is going to be the region. We need the product ID that we can get directly from our list definition in the config file, so as the product name. Product name. The quantity is going to be a random between 1 and 5. The amount, let's round our uniform distribution amount, the amount mean, and amount max, rounded by 2. The currency is going to be, we have the regions, and we can get our region for that instance, and then we get the currency associated with it, a region specific currency. And the timestamp, we're going to do let's get the datetime now timestamp and multiply it to get the milliseconds for each epoch. This is going to be our event that is going to be randomly generated. Let's return it. Okay. Now we have created the constructor and the generate purchase event method. On the next video, we're gonna keep going and build our main function. So stay tuned.